welcome to episode 1 of Art Hugs TV. Thanks for joining us. Today we are going to work on a matchstick. So we're going to pretend that we've lit it and we're going to light a beautiful scented candle, and the flame is glistening and the stick is solid. So we're going to start by drawing it, and then we're going to paint it in watercolour. You would have seen just before, everything that you need to have for this is going to be on that list. So get that all ready before we get started, okay? All right, let's begin. I want you to start by drawing 3 lines on your page. 2 are a little bit longer than the middle one, okay? We're gonna have it running off the page because this match is very long. Then we're going to join them up at the top to make a little bit of a triangle. We do some wonky lines in the middle to make it look like the little bits of wood. It doesn't matter where you put them, you can put them wherever you want. It's up to you. And then we're going to do a little wonky triangle at the top here of the matchstick, and a little line that's wonky up here. We're going to do the same on the other side. And then it's just a series of wonky lines all joining together. Don't worry about being too perfect with this, okay? This is all about creating the top of the matchstick, and the top of the matchstick melts in all different ways on all different matches. There's no rules. What we do want to do is this side here, we want to create that as our solid dark colour, because that's going to be where the shadow is. So you'll see we've formed a bit of a stick that looks like it's already burnt a bit at the top. So now we get to do the fun bit. We're going to create little wavy circles from the middle, and we're going to get bigger and bigger as we get to the bottom of that wavy bit, just down here. So I've done 2 little circles here, and then we're going to just make it pointy at one end and come down like that. Now you can have this matchstick running off the page if you want to. Mine's going to. But see how it's like just this series of wobbly shapes, like a smush circle running off the page. And that is all we're going to draw with our pencil. Then we're going to grab a paintbrush. We've got our watercolour palette, there it is. And what we're going to do is we're going to wet our paintbrush with some water. We are going to start with the burn bit at the top. So you're going to go around the outside just with water in the first little circle that you've created. I know, it seems unusual, but just water makes it nice and wet, so when we add the paint to it, it's just going to smoosh all the way around. I'm just going to make my water a little bit red. You don't have to do this. It's kind of like it to be a little bit darker. I'm going to add some yellow to start off with. And I'm just going to push it around the water that I've already applied to the page. See how it's just smushing? If you just lightly smush it around, it's going to fall wherever you've got the water. It's not going to fall outside of that. How cool is that? Then we're going to wash that bit off. Then we're going to grab a little bit of water again, and we're going to go around the next bit. Now do not stress if it goes into the yellow that you've just done. We kind of want it to blend together. The cool thing about watercolor is when it blends together, it looks like a beautiful gradient. It's just fanning out the dark colors like a matchstick would. So we're going to grab our orange next, or whatever color you want. I don't care what color your flame is, that's entirely up to you. This is your art piece. So you color that flame, whatever you want. I don't care if it's pink or purple or orange, like me. I'm going to go traditional just so you can see what my goal was at the beginning. See how that's really easy to smush around? It's looking really good blending into that yellow there. We're just going to continue to do that, guys. All the different little wavy smushed circles we've done, we're just going to fill it with water first and then put a colour into it. You'll see mine is blending and looking a little bit light orange as I'm blending it because it's smushing from the other orange. I actually like that, that's looking very cool. But I'm going to add a little bit of yellow to this one now to make it look like it's a very, very bright flame. Taking hold there. And then finally on the edges, when I do my wet around the outside, I'm going to finish with a little bit of pink so that it looks like it's got a little bit of a glow to it. A little bit of pink. Make sure when you're wetting your watercolor palette, guys, that it's nice and wet. The wetter the palette is, the more the paint will be easier to spread over that watercolor paper. Now I did write at the start that to get watercolor paper, just go grab it from Kmart. Get mum and dad to go buy it from Kmart. It's really good paper. It doesn't cost a lot and you can have a lot of fun with it with the water. Okay, so that's my flame, guys. What do you reckon? So I'm going to leave that bit now. I'm going to leave this bit because I want that to dry a little bit for us. So we're going to focus on the wood next. So this time we're not actually going to wet the paper first. We're going to get some of our watercolor and make it really wet and smushy, and we're going to put that watercolor straight onto the dry paper. See how it's a little bit cleaner? It's not running all over the page. It's a bit neat and tidy because we want the wood to look like it's nice and clean and straight lines. So just grabbing that watercolor and then applying it straight onto the paper, and it'll be nice and smooth. Don't worry so much about staying inside the lines. If you can, that's fine. If you can't, it does not matter. So we're just going to fill in where we've drawn those beautiful lines with our matchstick. You could have used a ruler with that if you wanted to, but I prefer to do things a little bit more natural and just have a go, wobbly line or not, and draw it freehand. So once we've painted that, you can use whatever colour you want to. I'm using a mustard, and then I'm going to use a little bit of yellow. I'm going to go over the top with that, just in little bits, just to give it a bit of shadow. A little bit of yellow, and I might even grab a little bit of orange, a little bit of brown. You can play around with your colours, that's what's cool about it. There's no rules. Art is all about making something your own. You don't want it to look like mine, you want it to look like yours. So we're creating that matchstick. You can even smudge it in with your finger if you want to and blend it a little bit more, get a little bit messy. If you've got an apron at home, wear it, then you can wipe your fingers on the apron. Okay, we've coloured in our matchstick. Now we're going to grab some grey. I think this time I just want to do a little bit of wet watercolour on dry paper, and we're just going to do a little bit of our smushy lines that we drew earlier. We're just going to shade these in just a little bit. Do a little bit up here. It doesn't matter where you do it, just little bits. We just want to leave a bit at the top there because that's going to be the bit that we've lit. That's what's causing that big flame. So in the middle of that flame, I'm going to make it a little bit yellow just by grabbing the watercolour and putting it straight on the dry paper. I'm going to do the same again, this time using a nice rich red colour. I'm going to apply it here. Now it doesn't matter again if it blends a little bit into your flame because that's what it's doing. It's lit and it's exploding out and causing this big flame from the ember that it's going from. So just fill it in with wet onto the dry paper, and if it starts to bleed out, perfect. And then you can grab a bit of water and smush it into the middle there if you wanted to. See what's happening there? It's exploding out. It's looking beautiful. Next we're going to use some darker colours. I'm going to use some grey and some black this time, because because when the match starts to die out, it goes a little ashy. So we need it to look like it's burnt already and it's finished being lit. So this little bit that I left with all the grey around it, I'm just going to fill that in with some black, like this, just to create a little bit of shadow there. Like that bit of the match is already done. Now we want it to be a little bit wobbly at the bottom, we don't want it to be perfect, so you can add a little bit at the bottom, just smush a little bit of extra paint, like that. And then I might grab a little bit more and just do a little bit here as well. Perfect. And a little bit of water to make it smush. Now I think I'm going to grab a little bit of mustard here and just make my stick a little bit higher there into that triangle. You don't have to do this, this is just, I feel like mine's been burning a long time while I've been painting. I'm going to grab just water and I'm just going to fill in this little bit here to make it a bit lighter. Now we're going to wait for that to dry and then we're going to come back. We're going to use a biro and we're going to outline it all because I'm a big fan of outlining to just enhance the illustration. It's a personal preference. You could use a Sharpie, you could leave it as is, you could do a pencil, you could even just use another bit of watercolour and outline it, but I prefer the biro look. So that's up to you. So we'll come back shortly and we'll do that to finish it off. We'll see you soon. Welcome back, guys. Now that it has dried, I think I'm going to use a biro to outline mine, just to make it stand out a little more. When I say outline, what that means is that I'm just going to go over everywhere that I have drawn with my pencil at the beginning, just to make it stand out a little bit. Now, I do not want it perfect, so it doesn't matter if I go outside the lines, or if it's a little bit rough or lifts up the paper. I mean, that's kind of the style that I'm going for. But if you want yours to be completely dry and to not have any rips or tears or imperfections on the paper, just give it overnight or, you know, wait a couple hours and come back and do it then. But mine's pretty dry now, so I'm kind of happy to just let the little imperfections be part of my artwork. We're not going to focus too much on the outside of the flame, because at the very end of doing this illustration, we're actually going to go and do a solid black background to make it look like we're lighting up a night. Because that's kind of why we've got our matchstick lit, because it's nighttime and we need something to help us see where we're going. So I'm just going to roughly do that so you can get a little bit of an idea of where my matchstick was and what I'm creating. My biro isn't working very well, so you work with what you got. But that's creating a little bit of what I intended for you. All right, so next, we can either do a whole heap of solid black, which is just a black straight onto the paper. So it's going to create that watercolour textured paper there and look very stampy. You're not going to have a nice solid black background because that's using acrylic paint. Watercolour will look a little bit more blotchy, but when you light a match, it's going to have little pockets of light everywhere. So it's kind of going to have the effect we're after, I think. So just take your time and fill that page up with some nice black watercolour, making sure that the watercolour is nice and wet when you're applying it so that it's really easy to spread over the page. It shouldn't be difficult. If it's difficult, it means you just got to grab a little bit more water from here and dab it into the palette. If you want to add different colours to your background, of course you can too. It could be nice little purples, it could be bits and pieces of red or yellow. You're kind of imagining where you are when you've lit this match. Create your own story behind it. Are you on an adventure as the power gone out in a storm, or you're lighting a beautiful candle like I suggested at the beginning. What scent is the candle? So I'm just filling this in all the way around where I paint it, because it'll be nice and dry now. It's not going to bleed into where you painted that flame. So you're just going all the way around. And filling it in like that. You can see it taking shape already. Once you add that black, it makes a difference. You can see that you're lighting the way now, and it's not just on a vast bit of white emptiness. Those that know me I know that I'm a big fan of colour. Love colour. We can do some excellent things with shading, but I am a big fan of things coming to life when you add colour to it, especially watercolour. So don't be hung up on perfection of this, yeah? Perfectly imperfect. And we should celebrate it. So just colour all that in. Be proud of yourself, guys, because we're nearly done. Maybe when you've done this one, you could do another one with all different colours and imagine a different adventure in your head. That's what's so magical about our imaginations. We can go anywhere and do anything in our minds while we're creating art. Perfect for relaxing. Okay, so I've done that bit of black all around the outside there. As you can see, I haven't made it perfectly solid. I like how it's looking. What I am going to do is just around here, I'm going to create a little bit more yellow. So I'm going to make that yellow really wet. And then I'm just going to go around the outside on the black bit, around the flame, just so it looks like it's spreading out into the darkness. So I'm just going to dab that in, spread that out on both sides, just so it looks like it's spreading out and lighting the way. So just dab it. Doesn't matter where it bleeds to. A lot of your black is going to be a bit wet still. Just let it travel wherever it needs to travel. Allow the water to lead the way. Because light doesn't explode out evenly. It goes where it wants to go. So just let it. Okay. Now my flame is a little bit drier now, so I'm actually going to go over where I've drawn, just indicating, my pen's not working, just indicating where those lines have started, just so you guys can see them a bit, not so much for the artwork, just sort of launching it out into the world. Now, the most important thing is once we've done this awesome artwork, we need to sign it, because it doesn't become yours until you've signed it and made it yours. So it doesn't matter where you put it. A lot of people like to put their signature in the actual artwork itself, or they'll put it in a corner. I'm actually going to sign the bottom of this matchstick here, and I'm just going to write Hannah. A signature is basically just your way of expressing who you are every time you do your artwork. So it could be your name, it could be what you call yourself, it could be a nickname. You could make it up, because this is all part of your imagination and the process of creating art. And that's it today. That is our flame piece. And well done to everyone for painting with me today. I will see you next time for another piece of artwork on Artworks TV. Bye.